Okay, in this package or video, I will show you how to actually create a new package using an audio record set. So let's create, let it go, come back once again, otherwise it doesn't allow you to rename. Just created it before, just create it again one more time for the break of a video recording. Record set to exactly the same thing. I have here the database, AdventureWorks database. It has a one table that's known as AdventureWorks sales currency. As you can see, it has three fields: currency code, name, and modified date. I am going to actually go through the loop using a audio record set, and I'm going to display the value here. This will show you how to use the audio record set in this video. So let's go and create an OLEDB connection. So I have the adventure. This is the database I'm going to use. Now I'm going to drag the SQL, execute SQL task. Now this is dragged into the control flow. Control flow is where all you can do that during the task, and data flow is where the streaming happens. All the things you want to do, like modifying and everything, that will happen here in the data flow. Control flow is basically controlling the main thing, main task. Okay, and let's go to the SQL statement. I'm going to paste this statement as it is, copy, paste it. This is the SQL statement that we need to do it. I could easily have selected a table also, I want it, but I've selected this way because if you see here, you have to have a direct input. So direct input is file connection, as you can see, connected, and here it is. Now that being done, you have to have a parameter mapping, but before I go further, I need to create a variable. So I will create a variable. The new variable, you can say, is the variable, because I'm dealing with currency table, so I will say currency record set, and I will select it to the object. I will declare one more variable. I will say it currency code, and this time I'll make it a string. Okay, now double click it again, and in the parameter mapping, I do not have to do anything because there are no parameter in the SQL code. As you can see, result, parameter mapping, expression. Yes, the result set, because there is no result set selected, it is showing none. So you cannot select the result set. Now I'm going to select the result set to the full, and then you can see that the result set, and you can add the variable name. In this time, the variable in the record set is a record set, and the result name has to be 0. That's very important, putting that 0. And that being done, now I have configured the SQL task here. As you can see, this has been done. Let me drag the for each loop container, and I will connect this thing, success and connection. In this connection, I will select the for each audio enumerator, and in the variable I will select the record set variable that I created, and the rows in the first table, variable mapping, because I do not want to select the record set here, I just want to select the variable mapping. The currency code, this index is the number of the column in the SQL you have selected. So because the index code is the first the code is the first value I'm trying to get. So I have put the index. Whenever you are selecting more than few columns, the first column is 0, the second column is 1, and this, and so on, and the third column is 2. Whatever the number of the columns, minus 1 is the value of the index. So that being done, as you can see here, variable mapping done, connection done, everything is done. Now let's go to the script task. Drag the script task. I put the script task inside it. Before that thing, I will rename it SQL task currency table loop ADO set, and here I will just, before I go further, remember this is the VB script I've selected here, not the C hash or C sharp, and then you can select the VB. Here in the read only I will select the record set because I am going to use the record set to read the values from, and then I can select the user.currency code, the other variable. If you see it, click OK in the journal, and everything is okay. Rest being done, I will click the edit script. Now that being done, I go down and I will show you message box. I am going to display the value of this thing, so I say it as currency code plus currency code DTS dot variable. Then I add the currency code dot value to string, and that being done, you can see it is being now more, and I'll just save it and click OK, and I will run this thing now, whether it displays the value of the currency code or not. Oh, it has created an error. Let's look at it, why the error has come up. Okay, let's go, and maybe the variable name is not correct. That's the only thing that could have happened. Currency code. This is very case sensitive, you have to be very careful. Just type this being a case sensitive, so you have to be very careful about it. I think that should resolve that problem. Yes, as you can see, we have created it, and we are going through all the things. I'll just end it here, and I'll go further in the video. I've shown you how to display the value. Now let's go and add one more variable. This time I will say the currency modified date, and then I will go and select the date time, and let's say we take it here, and in this thing I will add the modified date. Click OK, but here also I have to go to the variable mapping and select the modified date, but in this case I have to select the value 2 because that is the third column in my select statement. As you can see here, modified date is the third column, 0, 1, 2. Okay, so now I've got the variable mapping in the 2. Click OK. You can go to the script, click OK, and in the message box again, let's add the value. First I will copy the, just to save the time, copy and paste it. Instead of just in currency, I will say modified date, and that should solve the problem. Modified data appears here, otherwise it will give you an error or it will not display the value. Let's save it, run it, and you can see again it has created a problem. Let's go and check the variable name, currency modified date, and let's go and check it out here in the script, edit. Here we have made a spelling mistake, so it's okay. Click OK, and let's save it and rerun, and so far successful. As you can see, currency date is also coming up. Now I will stop this thing once more again, and I will add one more variable this time. And as you can see, I will say currency name, because the currency name is string. I will again have to select the string, and again for the parameter mapping I have to go to the user currency string. I cannot see the variable. Let me see the variables. Currency name is there. Now there's a value. Okay, variable mapping, currency name. Now this is because this is the second column, so it gives the value 1. So that's okay. Click OK. Skip task. Again I have to select the value here. As you can see, the value here is user currency name, and click OK. Click OK and save it. Click execute. So far so good, but it is not displaying the value because we have not added the message box here in the script task. Let's go to the script task and let's go and add one more message box after copying and pasting and changing the value of column. Currency name, I hope that is the value. Let me check it out. Currency name, yes, I hope so. It's there's no spelling mistake, and let's run it. 1, okay, 2, 3, currency name. So far so good. You can see that it's running and it's giving the correct values. Now I'll show you one more thing. Now that being done, suppose if you wanted to find out the values of the variables here, if it was not executing, or you wanted to find out the value of the variables that we have defined, so how would you do it? So you can right click on the for each loop container. You can select the edit breakpoint. There are many break conditions here. I will select the break at the beginning of every iteration. Every iteration of the loop. Every iteration of the loop, and you can select it. In every iteration, you can go and select it and click OK. Now, when the loops iterate, it will show you the value in the very beginning. So but how do we check it out? So let's go and see how the value iterates through, and let's execute it. Now I have not done anything yet, so I'll just go and click the debug window, click local, and you can see the variables and you can see the currency code. I'll select the add watch and I have the currency code coming up here with the name modified. Everything has come up. You can see that thing. So every time I just go and click next, let's run it once more and click OK, 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 and you can see the value of all the three things coming up, and so on and so forth. It also defines the type of the variable it has on the side, what variable it is. As you can see, the variable it is showing up here, string and date time. That being done, I can stop this thing. One last thing I would like to do is that instead of scripting it all through again and again, I want to add the value to one way. Instead of creating three message box, I will add it as dim currency rec as a string. Then I will go to the down to the value and I will say message box. I will say first, before I will assign the value, so I will say currency rec equals to currency code, paste it, plus this thing, currency code is there here again. This should be currency name. Sorry, I made a mistake while naming it. So this is currency date and this has to be currency name. That being done, currency date, okay, this currency date added, and then you can, something is wrong now, then you can pick up this thing and you can add the last one to the and that is being assigned a value, and I can just say message box display the value of currency rec, and that is done. Now I do not need these three different boxes of the message. Oh, this is not needed here because this is not C hash. So okay, save it and I'll just close it and I'll click OK, and you can say I will run it and the value has come up. As you can see, I'm not removed the watch, but however if you want to remove the watch you can say, if you wanted to remove the watch I can say just delete watch and it will remove it. I do not want to say. If you want to say the hexadecimal value, you can see the hexadecimal value too. However, let's go and execute the, as you can see the currency code is AED, currency date, and so on. There is some formatting problem because of the space not corrected, so I'll just go and just do it. Otherwise this is over, as good as over, and we have done it. And let's say, oh, this is not to be touched. Currency code, currency date, we need to have a space here, and we need to have a space here, and save it and run it. Click OK, and you can run it, and click OK, and you will see the value coming up. Click OK, and so far so good. Output local, nothing is coming up. Let's say debug window, locals, the display value has been removed. So again I would drag it up, so you can see again the values, currency name, currency modified, currency code, all those things are here. That's it, and just stop the package. This is how you actually use the ADO record set.